Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. So we've kind of been in a weird situation recently because Worlds has been such a huge event and such a huge story in the League of Legends world, and obviously rightfully so. Everything we do all year, the offseason, the regular season, the playoffs, all this stuff, it's leading up to Worlds. That's the only reason, most teams are doing like anything. Obviously try to make some money, try to grow your fan base, make sell some merch, that kind of stuff. But most of what we talk about in this channel is anticipation of how your team's going to perform at Worlds and all that stuff. And obviously I've gotten interviews and scrums and all this stuff. So we've had a ton of content coming out on this channel over the past couple weeks, but it hasn't been related to the other stuff going around the League of Legends Worlds because stuff still has been happening. News has still been going on. There are still players announcing free agency and teams making moves and all this stuff. And I still want to cover that stuff, but it just kind of sucks because those stories have just been getting backpiled while the Worlds coverage goes on. And I don't really know what the right balance of all this stuff is because obviously Worlds is Worlds, but I do want to cover all the other stories as well. So this is a story that's a couple weeks old, but I still want to cover it. And there's some stories we're going to go back to, but I haven't covered them, and hopefully they will still be news to you. But either way, I still want to get everybody's thoughts and opinions on them as well. So point being, a long-winded way to say, one of the biggest stories of this whole offseason has been in the LEC and LCS, teams selling, coming, going, buying, getting slots, selling slots, whatever the heck is going on. Who are the 20 teams, or 21 or 22 or whatever? Maybe we're going to expand in the LEC, maybe not. Who are the new teams going to be for 2022? What in the heck is going on? Are we getting Mr. Beast? Are we getting Sentinels? Are we getting K-Corp, Navi, FaZe, TSM in the LEC, whatever. And one of the teams that's been potentially rumored to be available, one of the teams that's been rumored to be potentially going to sell has been Flyquest. They've certainly not been at the forefront, but they've kind of been like that dark horse team that might end up making a move. And we've been starting to hear some rumors, some rumblings, some whatever, speculation. And then we got this news. This was on September 27th. So again, this was like right around 14 days ago, right around 2 weeks ago. Hey, we're just covering it now, but still, this announcement only got like 800 likes. So I'm sure many of you actually haven't heard about this, even if, you have been following the scene and everything like that, even though it's 2 weeks old. That's why I want to cover this. Flyquest tweeted out, "We have an exciting announcement." And what's very, very interesting here is you can see flyquest.gg/article/ownership. Ownership? What does that mean? Is Flyquest selling? Did they sell? What the heck is going on? And then we dive into the article. Flyquest announces new ownership. And again, this seems like it'd be a big deal, but it's kind of flown under the radar. We announced today that Flyquest has been bought by a new ownership group, the Viola family. The Viola family are the owners of Sunrise Sports and Entertainment, parent company of the National Hockey League's Florida Panthers. Now, I don't really follow the NHL. I don't know much about hockey. From what I've heard, sounds like the Florida Panthers have been pretty historically bad, but I don't know. I think they just made like the playoffs for the first time ever. I think they've been a little bit better recently. I don't know if that's anything that the Viola family has done differently or changed up for them or whatever, but I don't know. They're not like an iconic NHL franchise. They're not an iconic hockey team. They're not one of the biggest, best teams, whatever, but hey, this is some traditional sports money entering the LCS once again, which we've really had mixed results with so far. Flyquest will continue to grow as an organization focused on advocacy, sustainability, and giving back to the community. Again, that stuff's all great, but I don't know. Like, a lot of that stuff doesn't necessarily have a ton to do with the esports. Like, how good are your teams going to be? Is your team's going to make money? That type of stuff. Like, your whole business can't necessarily be, I don't think, at least focused on advocacy, sustainability, and giving back to the community. Those can be like things you want to also do, but I think a lot of people's concerns about Flyquest, they're not doing the other stuff. What's your content strategy? What's your competitive strategy going to be? How are you going to make money? What's your business going to be? That type of stuff. So, not necessarily a great sign to me that those are some of the first things that they're focusing on, but it is cool, and that is what Flyquest has built a lot of their obviously small fan base off of. Let's not mince words. They have a small fan base. They have a pretty devoted small fan base, and they're one of the bigger small fan bases, but it's not like they've, burst onto the scene or anything like that necessarily either, and that could be why they're changing ownership now, of course. Flyquest, under its new ownership, Flyquest is prepared to continue the brand's legacy of showcasing greatness with exciting activations, partnerships, and continued expansion. We are excited about the future of the esports industry, and we are drawn to Flyquest's culture and commitment to playing for a greater purpose, says Michael Viola, president of the Viola family office. We're thankful to the Edens family, LCS commissioner Jackie Felling, Riot Games, Flyquest CEO Michael Choi for their support and energy throughout this entire process. We look forward to building on the solid foundation that Flyquest and their dedicated staff have worked so hard to achieve. We are excited to lead Flyquest in its next chapter. as a mission-driven organization that competes at the highest level in both North America and on the world stage. So, this is the announcement that they put out overall. One interesting kind of conspiracy theory or something that people have been saying is, hey, in this announcement and in the leaks and in, Riot putting this stuff out and all that, we haven't heard about how much this Flyquest organization sold for. And many people believe that it's because the number probably wasn't that exciting, because most people are under the assumption that, hey, if this was some exciting number, if this was bigger and better than some of the numbers in the past, or if the LCS values were really skyrocketing, that Riot would want those numbers to be published. They would want those numbers to be leaked. They would want those numbers to be out there. And that's what we've heard in the past. We know about how much, the BDS slot sold for and all this stuff. Now, obviously, it's different when the organization is like selling or getting new ownership or whatever, so it's not totally the same, but there is, some people, maybe it's speculation, maybe it's conspiracies, maybe it's reaching, or maybe there's some truth there that, hey, maybe this thing wasn't all that attractive at the end of the day. It also is interesting because some of the rumors were that Mr. Beast could have potentially been interested in buying Flyquest or buying Flyquest slot, or maybe even trying to get partial ownership of Flyquest or something like that. Obviously, Mr. Beast has been very, very involved with philanthropy and giving back and sustainability and all that stuff, and also interested in getting into the League of Legends world. Obviously, that is not what is happening, which I think is going to be a big disappointment to a lot of people. But I am very, very curious to see how this new ownership is going to be able to come in and do. We have Statista.com showing us that apparently in 2021, the Florida Panthers franchise was valued at $450 million. And then I also Googled this, the Viola family net worth. This is Vincent Viola. Viola earned his fortune as the founder of Virtue Financial and as a former chairman of the New York Mercantile Exchange. He is one of the nation's foremost leaders in electronic trading. He owns the Florida Panthers. His net worth valued at a cool $2.8 billion. Now, this is showing you that this is obviously some big money getting involved with Flyquest. Flyquest also tweeted out this. I thought this was one of the best tweets. This tweet got more likes than their announcement, which is actually kind of funny. Flyquest had posted this Jordan Belfort meme, which we got to watch real quick.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving!
Which I just thought was absolutely hilarious again, because there were rumors, and I think this even in a way confirms some of the rumors that they were maybe considering leaving the LCS, maybe selling their slot, maybe selling their team to somebody else, but it does seem like Flyquest is going to be sticking around under the same banner, same name, same logo, branding, identity, all that stuff. So for the Flyquest fans, in a way that is cool. It is maybe a little bit disappointing that we could have got a new, cool, exciting, shiny toy, a new brand, a new organization, but at the end of the day, I think this is good to have some continuity in the league as well, and I don't know, I'm not coming in with the highest expectations or the most excitement about this new ownership. I think it's probably going to be a lot of the same type of Flyquest, a cheaper, less spending organization that tries to be competitive, but on a budget to an extent, and maybe develop some NA talent and that kind of good stuff, but we'll have to see. But this is now one less organization for some of these other teams like Optic or Sentinels or FaZe or Mr. Beast or whatever to be able to get involved in the LCS. We also still have, some other teams that might end up selling. Who knows what's going to happen with Immortals or Dignitas or anything like that. But hey, there's been a ton of rumors and speculation and all that stuff regarding Flyquest and selling their slot or not selling their slot or whatever. So I want to give you guys this update that yes, Flyquest has had an ownership change. But it still seems like they're going to be hanging around. It still seems like Flyquest will be here in 2023 in the LCS. For better or for worse, I don't know. Hopefully the ownership group surprises me. Hopefully the team surprises me. I just want what's best for the LCS at the end of the day, and for League of Legends esports. But we'll have to wait and see. Pretty much over this video today, guys. Let me drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about anything we talked about in this video today. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.